What's going on, everybody? My name is C4. Welcome back to the channel, and today we're here for a new Madden 25 rebuild where we're going to be rebuilding our Madden 24 main channel dynasty in the Arizona Cardinals. And over the next 5 seasons, we're going to try to turn this team into a Super Bowl champion. And I'm going to be honest, I kind of wish I waited a year because this Cardinals roster is a lot more fun than the Cardinals roster we would have started with last year. You got a hidden dev running back in Trey Benson. You have Wilson, did not have a dev trait last year. You got Trey McBride, who's emerging as a tight end one in the league. Kyler Murray is always Kyler Murray, a very fun dual threat quarterback. And it's going to be a challenge and a goal of ours in this rebuild to not only navigate his very expensive contract, but utilizing what is still, I think, a very good quarterback and developing him and getting him off that star dev and making Kyler Murray the player that he was supposed to be when he was drafted first overall out of Oklahoma. Cardinals also drafted one of the cheesiest wide receivers from a rookie class in Madden history, and that is in line with how good of an in real life receiving prospect he is. That is Marvin Harrison Jr. out of Ohio State. 79 hidden dev, and at 6'3", 209 pounds, 94 speed, 93 acceleration, 93 jumping, 91 agility, 84 catching, 82 catch of traffic, 81 mid, 79 short, 77 deep, 86 spec, 93 changer. Like, this is a generational player. If you drafted this guy as a randomly generated prospect in a Madden draft class, you would be losing your mind at what you have. And we have that right out the gate as a real player. And I'm going to, in this video, ensure that he becomes a 99 overall, because that is how good he is. We are going to force feed him the ball. He is going to salvage the career of Kyler Murray, and he is going to be a man, hopefully along with Kyler, with Benson, that is going to make him Trey McBride, all due respect, Paris Johnson, all due respect, all those guys led by Marvin Harrison Jr. We're going to make this an elite offense here in Arizona. The defense is not as promising or as upsidey as the offense, but we got some guys here for sure. Darius Robinson was a big pick for them out of Mizzou. Unfortunately, no dev trait, so that is a little bit of a whiff, but I'm confident we're going to get him on track, and he'll be a high upside pass rusher for us. The secondary is, at least at corner, there's some youth to it. Murphy Bunting still could have his best football ahead of him. They get Max Melton, the rookie out of Rutgers, 72 with a hidden dev. He's got to be a long-term option for us. He's a big-time athlete, 93 speed, 94 acceleration, and 94 jumping. For the rest of the secondary, Garrett Williams was a great player for us in our franchise last year. He was a guy you can reliably get like 4 or 5 interceptions a year. Jones, the rookie. Clark, right side at 25. I mean, you throw most of the players here in our front 7, and we're going to try to cheese a little bit. Owen Papo, if you don't know, now you know. Probably one of the best sub-70 overall players in the game. 89 speed, 92 acceleration, hit power pursuit. We know the potential of what he can achieve. But all these guys with normal devs, they're going to be playing a lot of meaningful minutes with a lot of opportunities to pop a dev trait scenario and get up to a star. And lastly, the safety duo, Jalen Thompson, 82 star, and Budda Baker, 90 superstar, is certainly a strength of this defense. But the question is, much like it's kind of been the last year or two for Budda Baker, great player, one of the best safeties in the NFL, versatility, can play nickel corner. Is there value in keeping him? And clearly him and his agent think so, because they've re-upped with the Cardinals. But is there also value in trading him away? Because by the time this team is ready to compete, I am not foreseeing almost any scenario where the first 2 years, maybe even the first 3 years of this rebuild, we are going to be, winning the NFC West. We are going to be pushing for a deep playoff run. So by the time I think this team's going to be ready, Budda Baker, his value is at an all-time high. This is the highest he is going to be in terms of a tradable asset. By the time that this team's good, he is going to be a reliable veteran. Like, I'm already just picturing year 4, year 5 of this rebuild, Budda Baker is going to be 83 star, 82 star. So do we trade him? And I'm under the assumption that we at least entertain the realistic offer. We're probably going to get some ridiculous offers. But if there's ones that make sense, if there's ones that I can even find some sort of truth to justify it, maybe. So looking at the offers here, ooh. I mean, Greg Newsome in a contract year, I'd say probably that's not realistic. Palmer, they're trying to tug at my heartstrings here. We don't want a guy with off-the-field issues like Rashay Rice. Commanders already willing to give up on their 2023 first-round pick. Philly would not do that with Dickerson. Lenore is interesting. He's in a contract year looking to get paid. And at the Niners, who are very tight for salary cap, that would be trading within the division. I don't love that idea. But Lenore, 24, 82 star. So again, you just look at the... If we're going to say Budda Baker, come year 4 and 5, when this team needs to be winning Super Bowls, is going to be 83 star. What is Lenore going to be in 5 years' time? He's going to be probably a 90 star at worst. Plus, we get a second-round pick. Harrison there, Neal. I mean, we do need help on that defensive line, but I don't think the Lions would be... I think the Lions are probably pretty happy with their safeties right now. Sean Gary, no way. Nate Hobbs, not brutal. 25-81. Still get that second-round pick. Puka, there's no way. Olave, there's no way. Roderick Jones, no way. Ooh, Tank Dell makes kind of sense. I mean, he's been relegated to wide receiver 3. Nico Collins needs to get paid. They just made the trade for Stephon Diggs. 81, we get a second-round pick, 4th, 6th, and 7th. Tank Dell would be a hell of a partner in crime long-term with Marvin Harrison Jr. That is, I'm going to say out of all these trades, Tyreek Stevenson, Tank Dell, Tyreek Stevenson, another guy, a little bit on the lower end, but still 24-78 with a star. Come year 5, he's going to be high 80s. We get that second-round pick from the Bears. T. Higgins wants to get paid by the Bengals. This is much more the high-end pick, but then we have to pay him. That's the issue here. You don't get any of the luxury of a rookie contract. And do I want to really expect... We still get that second round. I would say that's where this becomes unrealistic. There's no way you're getting a second round pick and T. Higgins. That was just T. Higgins straight up. You know, that makes it... I think we got to pick a trade here, though. So we ended up going with the trade that I think gave us the most value and helps us get our early goal of this rebuild, I would think, a little bit quicker, which is salvaging and reviving Kyler Murray. Tank Dell is going to come in and be our wide receiver 2. He's going to start all the time. We're going to have Marvin Harrison Jr. at 1, Tank Dell at 2. Tank Dell, and now a disgruntled player for the Houston Texans after they went out and got Stephon Diggs, who's going to eat into his snaps on the outside in the slot. Tank Dell still would play for the Texans, but he's a wide receiver 3, firmly behind Nico Collins and Stephon Diggs. They were also offering that second-round pick, so I want to take that gracious second-round pick. When you look at the Texans, they have essentially flipped their wide receiver 3 for a 90 superstar 28-year-old strong safety who's going to form a great partnership with Jalen Petrie. This is a Texans team that wants to be win now. They want to compete for Super Bowls right away, and I'm going to take advantage of that a little bit. I'm also to kind of offset it a little bit because still Budda Baker is a much better player, much more established player, but the upside is clearly with Tank Dell, and that's a good value pick in the second round. We're going to throw a 4th rounder this year and a 4th rounder next year to kind of meet this trade in the middle and make both sides very happy with what they get. I just got to get firsthand. How is this rookie looking in training camp? And Marvin Harrison Jr. is an absolute monster. We said, hey, kid, we got these certain goals here. Do you think you can go out there and get us a gold medal? Can you get 10,000 points scoring? He says, not only will I do that, I'm not even going to cheese it by just getting the quick 400s. I'm going to beat this guy down deep every single time I want with ease, and you're going to give me that gold medal. And I'll also say this, I wasn't too sure if rookie Trey Benson was going to be the guy. And then he puts up the highest score I've ever got in a rushing attack. Sorry, James Conner, but we got a new RB1 in town. For year 1, we're going to set a modest goal of 7 wins, which we do have an easier schedule. I think, especially if we can get Kyler Murray rolling, 7 wins, very attainable. And just because we had some moves, I do want to now show what our week 1, and kind of, at least for players that are on the roster, guys we want to give the opportunity to see if they're going to be here in 5 years' time. So we're going to go with Benson over James Conner at running back. Wide receiver core, we're going to have Marvin Harrison, we're going to have Tank Dell, and Michael Wilson. Offensively, the Canadian, Isaiah Adams, the rookie, we're going to have him start at left guard. A lot of options at right tackle. We're going to go Jonah Williams, the former first-round pick, and see if he can turn his career around. Defensively is where we have maybe the most swings to see if we can get some player development. We're going to have bump Owen Pappo way up the depth chart and just see if we can utilize his athleticism to turn into a depth trade scenario at some point. If he can get a lot of tackles, put himself in the right positions, I think we're going to have a good time. B.J. Ojulari, who might just be the most productive pass rusher we've ever had in channel history. We had 20, 30 sack seasons with him last year in Madden 24. Unfortunately, I think he got hurt in real life, which is an absolute bummer, but he's good to go. He took a trip down to Mexico, and he's ready to perform for us for the second-year man at LSU. And after getting rid of Buda Baker, we don't really have the bodies at strong safety, natural strong safety. We do have Taylor Demerson, the rookie at free safety, who's a 70. But I'm kind of, and I looked and broke everyone down, I think the rookie here at Boston College, Elijah Jones, 6'2", 184, has a pretty decent safety skill set. His tackling is solid, 65 tackle, big-time athlete. Much like Owen Papa, I feel like let's throw the big athlete on the field and just see if he performs. Might get a dev trade at the end of the season if he plays well enough. Might play well enough in season to get a scenario. So Jones and Papa are two that I really would love to see hit the ground running and surprise us and turn and develop into starters. So we're now here in week number 7. We are 2-4, which is a reasonable expected record, I would say, for the Cardinals. We had a big win over the Packers, who are, through my somewhat limited Madden 25 sim experience, Green Bay is very good, very much a top 3 NFC team. So get that win. That's a good morale boost. I was hoping this breakout was going to be for Owen Papa. We got Mack Wilson, who signed from the Patriots, I believe, in free agency. He's on a normal dev, so we are going to give him, let's give him a normal approach, a medium goal. 6 tackles, 1 TFL. We'll get him up to a star dev. Oh shit, we beat the Chargers 24-14. Good win. I think Chargers, I don't know if I'd take the dev trade over the win in that situation. It's a toss-up. But at least in Madden 25, if you miss out on the dev trade scenarios, you get a nice little XP boost. And for our national scouting here at week number 8, the position I want to get the most information on is at tackle. I think right tackle is the biggest upgrade that we need to find long-term. Again, everything that we're kind of making moves for here in year 1 is to help Kyler Murray's development, and continuing to address the offensive line is a top priority. And it's always pretty good when you got 8 first-rounders at left tackle, at right tackle. It's, you know, the depth is not the best, but still 3 first-rounders. So we have 10-plus players that are going to definitely be a consideration with our first-round pick. Well, we're just at that midway point. Marvin Harrison Jr. is developing very nicely. And if you have not checked out my video where I ruin and spoil all the rookie dev traits here in Madden 25, he's an X factor. We had a great salary cap situation, even with the gigantic contract on Kyler Murray, $108 million. The question now, unfortunately, comes to the state of our roster, where I am not seeing any player like James Conner. We got your replacement in Benson. Any player that's worth a re-sign. Kaiser White, again, we're going with the development of Owen Papa, even though you are an underrated player. We're really solid for the Philadelphia Eagles. Will Hernandez is a starter at guard. It's not the end of the world. I think he'll maintain that rating until he's 30. So let's see, 2 years, 18 and a half. Wow. Gave him a couple more bucks. Some couch change, if you will. Get that deal done for the next 2 years. Week 12, we got ourselves another linebacker breakout scenario. I hope it's not Mack. It's Owen Papa. Let's go. He is not going to let us down. We're going to go with a very easy goal. 2 tackles for loss. I almost prefer the 6 tackle, 1 TFL. Lose a close one to the Seattle Seahawks, falling to 4-7 on the season. But is there a silver lining? Will Owen Papa? Oh, this is what we could have, well, I'm not going to say could imagine, because we saw last year in Madden 24 just how good Owen Papa can be. But he didn't get his dev trade? What do you mean? How are you going to say the defense is so good with Owen Papa? And then also be like, oh, everyone was good except him, though. Like, I actually didn't mean to bring up his name. God damn it. So while we've not got a dev trade for Owen Papa, something I have started to notice as a trend, especially with lower level players, is, man, you got to get these goals. We got 100 tackles for Papa, which is a great milestone, especially for a guy that started this year as a 67 overall. But we get 15,000 XP points by reaching that goal, and that's going to bring him up when we spend all these up to a 74 overall and counting. Unfortunately, got a loss against the Panthers. kind of circle that one preseason as a win, at least a winning opportunity. 6 wins, 8 losses, but we continue to smash goals. This one is with Max Melton, who started on the outside as a rookie for us, and for hitting 75 tackles, an absurd 13,000 XP. Better late than never. Darius Robinson, the normal dev, big time pick, which is a little bit of a bummer, but he hit 15 TFLs this season, so he's getting a nice 15,000 XP to close it out, and I'll bring him up to 78. This year one comes to a close. 6-11 is a rough record. You look at the good passing offense was on point, almost a top 5 passing offense, almost a top 10 overall offense. But Jonathan Gannon, a defensive-minded head coach, had one of the worst defenses in the league, and yep, trading away Budda Baker probably had something to do with that. But our passing numbers for Kyler Murray, trying to turn his career back around. Good start. Like probably more than 29 touchdowns, but 4,000 yards and only 6 interceptions. So playing turnover-free football. It's a good starting point here for Kyler Murray. Little disappointing, we had no rushing touchdowns. Wow. Almost 400 yards on the ground, which is good. We'll give him about 4,500 yards on the season, 29 touchdowns. But I don't want that to be his ceiling. I want that to be his floor in this rebuild. Sucks we didn't break 1,000 yards with rookie Trey Benson, but 960 and 13 touchdowns. Only 1 fumble behind. Not a good offensive line. Let's be honest, if we're grading our offensive line, even just in the NFC, bottom 5, bottom 3. So it's gonna get better. And he was just running behind dog shit, and we're gonna correct that as we go through. Marvin Harrison Jr. bonafide, 76 catches, almost 1,300 yards and 9 touchdowns. That is an absolute monster, and probably should be the front runner for Offensive Rookie of the Year, even though he will be going up against a lot of starting quarterbacks. Tank Dell didn't go over 1,000 yards, but 946 yards and 11 touchdowns. Pretty good initial return on investment in that trade with the Texans. Trey McBride at tight end, 75 catches, 900 yards, and 6 touchdowns, and a respectable stat line there for Michael Wilson. Defensively, we got 131 tackles from the heat-seeking missile himself, Owen Pappoe, as well as 5 TFLs, 2.5 sacks, and 2 picks. 8.5 sacks, 15 TFLs from Zaven Collins, 15 TFLs, 6 sacks from the rookie Darius Robinson. Good start to his career. Really disappointed with the numbers there from Ojulari. I swear, I got 30 sacks with him last year. I don't know what happened. Well, what's going on? Interception numbers, not great either. So we know the areas we need to improve. Offensive line, front 7, secondary. Just out of curiosity's sake, what did Budda Baker do? He also kind of went off. 111 tackles, 2 TFLs, a sack, and a pick. I'll let you decide who was the better player between him and Tank Dell. For the awards, Kyler Murray makes the short list in a year that Lamar Jackson wins his 3rd MVP. Nowhere really to go up for him because he's already an X Factor, but it's nice reassurance that Marvin Harrison Jr. does win Offensive Rookie of the Year. This would have been gigantic. Darius Robinson just missed out to Jared Verse for Defensive Rookie of the Year. I'm not mad at it. 72 tackles, 15 TFLs, 7.5 sacks. That was a little bit better. Kyler Murray's back playing like a top 5 quarterback in the conference, which is all you can ask for year 1. Ooh, close but no cigar. Zaven Collins, runner-up for linebacker of the year. That would have been great for that. Superstar dev would have been huge for him going forward. The ABC Super Bowl, anybody but the Chiefs or Cowboys. Shout out Baltimore, they earned it. Crushed it this year. For our dev traits, as we close out year 1, Trey Benson was hit a dev. He is a star. No other dev trait moving. Marvin Harrison Jr. there as an X Factor. I thought maybe outside chance Kyler Murray could go up superstar, but that will have to wait a year. We do get a superstar dev on Trey McBride, but a really productive season. I would say almost surprisingly productive season, and that is great for him. On the defensive side, Darius Robinson, runner-up for Defensive Rookie of the Year, had a great campaign. He went up dev trait. Owen Pappoe, while he missed his dev trait in season, gets one at the end of the year for being an absolute tackle machine. So that overall is a win for this team. And going into the offseason, free agency, where we have a lot of money, and the draft, I'm going to say center, right tackle, linebacker, nose tackle, 3-4 defensive end, or maybe if a safety is BPA or corner, that's where we want to go. Not gonna lie, for free agency, didn't really get a terrific role for the positions that we're looking for. I was hoping we could maybe get a D lineman, but there's no real scheme fits. And even the D tackles that would kick out to a 3-4 defensive end, not the best. The only guy that's kind of made me go, is Nick Bolton, middle linebacker. 25, 86, only $11 million per year. I don't want to say only. That's a lot of money for a linebacker. But I'm intrigued because we have money to spend. This is a great... I think we go neutral because clearly Owen Papa has shown that we don't need a high overall rated player to put up big-time production. But big-time production for a linebacker is often a misleading stat. And maybe someone like Nick Bolton, if we can land him, there's no chance. I don't want to overpay for a middle linebacker. That's dumb business. And Green Bay just has this weird obsession with constantly investing in the middle linebacker spot. You know, we got good production anyways out of dirt cheap contracts at linebacker. Would have been nice to splash here with Bolton, but we'll roll over the salary cap to next year. Look at the final mock draft. I fully scouted all the tackles, left and right. Not the best roll. Justin Guerrero at pick 11 is likely the best tackle in the draft. So we're gonna have an option. We have a top 10 pick if that's where we want to go, just to kind of solidify that right tackle position. Mike Bayless, first, second rounder. We could always pivot to potentially the best overall tackle and kind of fit our needs. Also was interested in some of these pass rushers. Michael Bailey at 314, perfect scheme fit. He would go on the other side of Darius Robinson. And I think when you look at the just A tackle, B power, A block shed, he's 6'5", 314, elite strength, ran a 4.78. I mean, it gives us something to think about. So this is the only time I expect to have a top 10 pick in this rebuild, if everything kind of goes to plan. So I want to make this pick. I don't want to kick the can down the road. We've done our homework. We know what positions we need to improve on. Not the best tackle class. And I will pivot in saying the value might be here with Jay Claiborne. If we can wait to the second round, he's a first round talent. Right tackle, we didn't get the best of help either. But I feel like second round is probably where I'd like to maybe make a play for a tackle. Defensively, I'm a big fan of a couple of our picks. Hinton, undersized, but still a first round talent, could slip into the second round. But, you know, you kind of fringe for our scheme here. A power move, B tackle, elite acceleration, great speed, great strength. 4.58 at 270. But maybe not the perfect scheme fit. And I maybe biasly want to continue to try to develop Ojulari. So not so much looking for like our edge rusher. I want someone to play on down the line. I do think Michael Bailey is probably going to have to be our selection here. Didn't scout any of the D tackles to move a D tackle inside. I don't think it's a particularly strong D tackle class. We have some corners. I fully scouted Casey Freeman. He's a first, second rounder. He just had 4 Bs and not the speed that you love. That's why I wanted to kind of unveil as much as I could, because if we got a roll there that because of all those Bs, he was a top 5 talent, we'd be able to adjust our board accordingly. This safety too, Gunter, looks pretty solid. B zone, B tackle, C man, A hit power, combine pretty good. First in the 3-cone in his pro day, 40-yard dash is really solid, but I'd be worried that there's no dev trait here. Could be a baller, but I think we got to trust our board, and our board says Michael Bailey. Don't make me look like an idiot. Don't make me look like a jackass. Please have a dev trait. Number 12 in true value. At 7, we get the dev. Very important. I'm going to say, though, if I had to, in hindsight, I think that safety is going to be really good. And I think the other DN that we had first round talent is also going to be really good. So, I mean, I want to compare when the draft is all said and done. And in the second round, I'm not going to complain. We got a first round tackle available. 3 A's and a B for Jay Claiborne. Combine pretty good. I will say I'm going to be worried that he's normal dev because of the dog crap bench press. But he's getting his own freaking highlight here. We're going. Let's see how excited this young man is before hopefully I see a blue question mark. Gannon loves the pick. It's a great fit. Second rounder. Let's get a start at right tackle for us. He looks happy. Am I gonna high? 14th in true value. Oh, no, Dev. Because of the trade with the Texans, we are back on the clock at pick 10 in the second round. My board is kind of started to fall apart here a little bit, but we're going to be able likely to come back and grab that corner that we scouted. As a first, second round talent, KC Freeman, 4 Bs across the board. 24th in true value at 42, and we get the Dev trait. Let's go. Line pick time, third round. Couldn't get Nick Bolton, but I feel like surrounding Owen Papa with like-minded linebackers. Morgan Gardner out of Michigan State. B pursuit, C tackle, which I don't love. Don't know the zone coverage, which I don't love. But he ran almost a 4.3 at his pro day. 3 code, 20-yard shuttle. Solid, not the best. Good broad jump, good vert. Big-time athlete. At worst, we have another developmental guy, much like Owen Papa, but third rounder, getting the Roger Goodell treatment. I don't know if that's necessarily a tell if they're a great pick or not, but it doesn't happen all the time. So when it does happen, I think we've hit a little bit of magic. 80. Oh, no. Nope. Okay. Don't know why this is happening, but it's almost adding insult to injury. We finished with our 7th selection. We needed a kicker. Elite kick power. Clayton Hancock. That is certainly not him. That is a stand-in hidden dev kicker, baby. Let's go. All right, drum roll, please. Draft recap. I like draft recap when I clearly have one target. I don't love it when I had multiples. Michael Bailey, 75, hidden dev pass rusher. Not too salty about that one. We also ended up getting, come on with the loading screens. We're on next gen, please. Claiborne, 75 normal at 75. Great starting point. Freeman, 74 with a dev trait. Gardner, 71. Good rating, even though we're a little whelmed with his dev trait. And then we get a 70 hidden dev kicker. Who was the top player in this year's draft class? And it was the safety we talked about. And hey, you know what? Only a normal dev. I'll take 75 hidden over 80 normal, even though I would imagine he's going to start and probably have a great opportunity to get that dev trait organically in his rookie campaign. Good pick for the Steelers. So we're off to a hard start. 2-0. So are the Niners. We get a weekly performance going to Trey Benson. 200 yards rushing and 2 touchdowns. And off of that, for the second-year man out of Florida State, star dev. So he is going to be looking to jump up to a superstar breakout scenario for Trey Benson. And we'll give him hopeful. Again, I don't know the difference. I would love if any of you guys actually figured out what the difference is for all those goals. That'd be pretty cool. But 125 yards. He's coming off 200. I'm up. I want to say even cautiously optimistic. We'll say. So we don't get our hopes up that he'll hit this. We beat the Niners. We are 3-0 here in the 2025 season, year 2. We've beat up on the Seahawks and the 49ers. But the Niners are a tough assignment for you to go off. Well, especially with the state of our offensive line. Damn, we didn't even get XP. Midway of year number 2, and we are 5-3, which is a good spot for us. Even if we kind of tank it, I feel like we're competitive enough to be challenging for a playoff spot here in year 2, which is slightly ahead of schedule, maybe. Looking at our salary cap situation here, we are 118 million. So we just any and all that we want to keep. Trey McBride, superstar tight end. I think we lock him in 4 years, remainder of the rebuild, 48 mil, easy call. Jalen Thompson, starting safety, 27, so we can lock him in till he's 30. 25 and a half. Oh, come on, you ass. Take the money. All right, last offer, Tom. He doesn't take this. I'm gonna look elsewhere. Go kiss my. Let's keep this PG. Ooh, back on track, up to 8-5. 3-game win streak, beat the Bucks 22-17 with a player of the week performance. Gardner, the speedy athletic rookie linebacker with a sack and a pick. Love to see that. So the bad news is we, unfortunately, especially like that, you can't lose to the Panthers. One on a losing streak. Below 500, you finished 8-9. Luckily, the NFC was dog shit. And there goes the PG rating. And we made the playoffs. 8-9. And it's probably going to be a pretty quick exit to the 49ers, but also chance for an epic upset. Looking at the numbers, Kyler Murray, pretty good, man. Top 5 in passing yards, 30 touchdowns, 10 interceptions. The interceptions are up a little bit. 400 yards on the ground, and another rushing touchdown. So, I mean, the bummer is I don't know if he's ever going to play well enough because he's 28, so he's getting pretty close to see. I don't know if we're going to be able to unlock, the string of dev trade increases that we'd love to see for Kyler Murray in a perfect 10 out of 10 rebuild scenario. But, the pieces around him, we're getting a little bit more of a consistent run game in Benson, who had that huge 200-yard game, so we know he can pop off. We have 2 wide receivers here who are going to continually elevate their game. Ergo, like we just saw in the Carolina Panthers rebuild, kind of hit a wall with Bryce Young, and then once the wide receivers and all those guys got on the same page and started clicking, Bryce Young started popping off in terms of production. So hopefully, with Marvin Harrison Jr., who continues to be just an absolute freak, 86 catches, 1,300 yards, 9 touchdowns. We got 1,010 from Takedale. Solid year from McBride, solid year from Wilson. But as these wide receivers get better, and Marvin Harrison up to a 93 X factor right now, I do think there is a chance, even in the older age of Kyler Murray, that we can still get where we want to go with him. Defensively, Owen Papo, 96 tackles, leading the team. Zaven Collins with a ridiculous year, 89 tackles, 15 TFLs, 9.5 sacks. That should probably be a dev trade scenario. Our rookie, Michael Bailey, 14 TFLs, 8 sacks, might have played himself into defensive rookie of the year conversation for the star dev. Ojolari with 4, regression at a Darius Robinson, which kind of sucks to see. Interception numbers, Garrett Williams with 3. Played a little bit of nickel, a little bit of free safety. The linebacker there, Gardner with 2 picks, but again, still need to find that game changer in the secondary. Michael Bailey does get defensive rookie of the year, so let's hold our breath there for a potential dev trade scenario. Gardner making top 3. And Zaven Collins wins a top linebacker. Now, could be a great one because you have stat production, which could result in a dev trait, and award, which could result in a dev trait with a chance of the rare double dev. He could be an X factor come the end of year 2. Our playoff journey in year 2. Again, I would say playoffs for this Cardinal team going into year 2 is reasonable, but might be, again, a little bit ahead of schedule. We like to talk about that as like the reference point in our rebuilds. But I think making the playoffs ugly at 8 and 9, that's, I think, on brand for where this Cardinals team probably should be if we're trying to keep it realistic. And, we didn't shock the world. God damn it. What was the result? Was it at least competitive? Did we put up a good It was. 1-score game, 34-28 in overtime. Had to go to second overtime in a game where Kyler Murray let us down immensely. No passing touchdowns and a turnover. We ran the ball pretty well. Receivers did an okay job. Defensively, tried their best to keep us in. Williams and Darius Robinson with the pick, with the sack, sorry. But damn, man. Kyler. Year 2 in closing, no dev traits gained or lost on the offensive side of the ball. Claiborne, who was a 75 second-round pick, is up to an 80, which is really nice. Better development than, say, Adams, the Canadian, who's been here as a rookie as well. Defensively, we did not get the double dev trait, but Zaven Collins is up to a superstar. Bailey, our first-round pick, is up to a superstar as well after winning Defensive Rookie of the Year. Freeman was hidden dev, just a star, but ultimately happy with the direction the team's going. As far as where we want to get better, nose tackle, finding a long-term option for sure. I do think Gardner, he's played himself into, starting spot. So I'm not worried about that linebacker position. Maybe finding a long-term starter at strong safety. We have Garrett Williams here now. Don't hate the idea, but if BPA is a safety, that's maybe an area we can go. Jalen Thompson doesn't want anything to do with the team, so we're going to need a new starting free safety. But again, Williams can probably play either one of those safety spots. So one safety and a nose tackle on the defense is where we want to get better. On the offense, I think a center, maybe a long-term replacement for Will Hernandez. He's entering the last year of his contract, and we are not picking up that option. And we're not picking high enough really to entertain this idea, but I am still getting a little worried that if things come year 4, year 5, we have yet to win a Super Bowl, yet to find playoff success, and Kyler Murray hasn't broken past that ceiling that he seemingly has kind of hit the year these first 2 years. We don't really have, Desmond Ridder is not the guy, but we don't have that break glass in case of emergency quarterback in the pipeline. So if there's a really nice quarterback that somehow is available in like the 20s, got to consider it. And the Doug Peterson Super Bowl here in year 2 goes to the Jags. And I'm gonna be honest, man. I asked for feedback in the last rebuild about, should we be focusing on these storylines in rebuilds. I think when it comes time, which my plan is this weekend, to do Vikings franchise for our main channel franchise, you definitely, you know, this is definitely gonna spice things up. But I think in the context of a rebuild, when you're just burning through seasons, it gets a little repetitive, and I don't think it adds a whole lot to the story that I can tell. Like right now, like how does finding out the motivation of Trey Benson affect anything? It just seems like needless additions to a rebuild presentation video. But again, if someone can make a good counter argument, they're like, well, it's the only thing that's new in franchise mode. What do you want to see? It's my very first rebuild. We interacted with all of them, and outside of the occasional XP boost, nothing happened. If you told me that these scenarios would lead to trade, and maybe I'm just not playing myself into these scenarios, but like if interacting with these ended up like, if you don't do stuff, you're gonna have players demand trades. That is the mischievousness that I want in a rebuild. That fork in the road that just gets generated that I have to deal with. That'd be pretty cool. I just haven't found any of these scenarios to improve or really add to a rebuild. Now we need a nose tackle. Big old Travis Jones here, formerly of the Ravens, is certainly fitting the bill, but there's no interest. So I'd have to overpay. 10 mil a year for a guy 26.75 is risky. I think we could probably find our nose tackle in the draft. Also, I think a sneaky ad for this team is we're never really going to be probably in the luxurious spot to draft a quarterback in the first round with Kyler Murray here. But if we could get like a guy off free agency, but when like Sam Howell and Desmond Ridder is the only guy and they're looking for 10 million plus a year, I'm good. But I like this move. Reed Blankenship spent time with Jonathan Gannon in Philadelphia, year younger than Jalen Thompson, interested in the project. I'll give you a player-friendly deal. How about that? Does that bump us up any? It puts us in contention. Come on, you played for us. Let's go. First free agency signing. There's a day one starter. And honestly, he can play free or strong. I think him and Garrett Williams, unless the draft presents itself a really good safety, will probably be our starting safeties going into year 3. So our big needs going into the draft, one is center. And I had to get creative a little bit and scout guards. Hayden Burns, first, second round talent in second, third round projection. We got Eddie Barden, first round talent in the third, fourth round, because these centers, while there's still 2 first rounders, they both look complete dog shit. So I think as we chase a center, someone like Eddie Barden makes a lot of sense. Maybe even overdraft him into the second round. We need a nose tackle. We did not get the best role of, you know, one of those big 30, 40, 50, 60 pounders. But we did get Nick Grove, who's the biggest one, at 6'4", 313. Base stats look pretty good. Value is there as first, second round talent. I mean, maybe Dev Trey. I mean, not the biggest fan of this draft class. Not the best role, but there is a scenario where we totally could get Nick Grove. There was also a scenario, honestly, where we could trade out of the first round. Both of our top targets are second, third round, day 2 picks. If we can get a future first rounder, might need to make that move. Even here at safety, we did sign Reed Blankenship. I feel okay about what we have in the safety room. But Matt Samuel, second, third round, B-man, B-zone, 6 feet tall, fastest 40-yard dash time. Like, there's a player there. We also have Jose Whitfield out of Texas, B-zone coverage, C-man, not brutal, elite speed, good acceleration, 4.3 speed at safety is rare. Or Grant Mays, A-hit power, A-man coverage. Very, very unique build. The 40, the 3-cone, the 20-yard shuttle, all checks. And I mean, I'm not married to Garrett Williams staying at safety. He also could very well continue to develop as a corner for us. I'm actually really intrigued with it. I wish I should have scouted. I mean, we had a little bit of scouting for the safeties. I don't know if I've ever seen a hit power, a man. So let's get an idea where these players are going. Because for us, still the value is second round, third round. I think that's where we're going to be able to do a lot of our damage. We scouted tackles again, just because you can never scout enough tackles. And we also have Paris Johnson contract that will be coming up. We have a top 5 talent that will actually be available to us in Enrique Griggs. There's value there at pick 19. But those safeties are... Whitfield, he's the speedster, right? He looked pretty good. B-zone. And I've never, like... when in doubt, like that is an excellent athletic profile. You draft him, move Reed Blankenship to strong safety, move Garrett Williams back to corner. It could work. And the other why is the other guy not going though? The A hit power, A zone coverage. That is surprise. So like that second round is going to be the absolute money spot. I'd say at 19. I mean, anytime you know about a top 5 player that's still on the board at 20, you can never have enough linemen. And within the context of our team, you could take the tackle we got last year in the second round. He will be our Will Hernandez replacement at right guard. And then Griggs, right tackle, plug and play. 3 A's and a B. Bench press, not the best. Athletically, pretty solid. I mean, we got options. Trading out. Griggs is there. I could talk myself into that safety for sure. That athletic profile is pretty juicy. So as we make pick 19, I've mulled it over. I think we got to go defense. Our offense, if we got that top 5 talent tackle, which we'll have to go see what his rating is for sure after the draft. But our offense has been good. There's not been our defense has been complete dog shit. So going all in and retooling the safety room. Now this is the other question. Mays looks real good. And I stress, things that stand out, things that look unique usually result in good picks. Especially when you're kind of blind picking like we are here. A-man, A-hit power is unique. Athletically, he's pretty good. But following the tried, tested, and true C4 rule of thumb, when in doubt, go with the athlete. Whitfield looks equally intriguing. That is as fast of a safety that I can recall. The jumping's off the charts. Elite agility, elite speed. We got A awareness, A play rack, B zone, C pursuit. Very intelligent player, can rush. I think we got to go here. Now, he could be normal. I've seen maybe more commonly the other positions. High rating safeties with normal dev traits. Well, I'm going to gamble with that athletic profile. We made the right call here. Retool our secondary. Reed Blankenship. We'll move him to strong. I don't know, 75 hidden dev. Number 1 in true value. 94 speed at 210 pounds. Good job, C4. Good job, C4. Passed on a scouted top 5 player. Got the number 1 because we want better than top 5. And the board couldn't have fallen any better to us. In the second round, the guard that will probably play center, that is a first round talent, falls right into our lap. Number 15 in true value for Eddie Barden. And we get the dev trait. Look at the athleticism. For 320 pounds, he can move, and he's an absolute powerhouse. We don't have the nose tackle that I would love to chase, but Darnell Ford could be interesting. Because the D-tackle we drafted in the first round last year was almost 320 pounds, so he could kick inside the nose tackle if we needed to. We got A finesse move, B awareness, B tackle. Obviously, the power move's dog shit, but decent enough base that he's not completely one-sided. And he has elite acceleration, 30-plus reps on the bench press. This is just swinging on a guy that clearly would be a 3-4 end on our team. But the athletic traits were pretty good. And a lot of times when you get those guys, like they are shockingly bad, like at the run and the power, and he looked decently balanced as a run defender, and obviously with the finesse move as a sub 300-pound D tackle. I love the pick. 106. I don't love it as much, but we get the dev trait. Let's go. All right, finishing the draft up here. What does the number? See, look at the defense. 22nd pass defense. I think we made the right call there, and we get 81 overall for Jose Whitfield out of Texas. 94 speed, 91 acceleration, 82 zone, 75 pursuit, 74 hit power, play rec, smart player, 76 catching. That is the best safety the Cardinals have had since Buda Baker. Barton 75 with a dev trait, Ford 70 with a dev trait, humble rating. We got Cotton, we got Webster, some nice little value picks. I do want to see, I think Miami drafted that D tackle top 5 true talent. So I would have been happy either way if we decided to go Griggs. 78. Plug and play him at that tackle spot. What's the dev trait? If it's superstar, adds a little bit more pressure to our number 1. Damn. All right, Whitfield. You got to be at least a superstar dev for me not to be sad. Midway point of year 3. Offensively, the numbers have dropped. I think we have a Kyler Murray problem. Now, it's early. Still time. You can get hot. But we are firmly middle of the park in yards. 15th in yards, 14th in touchdowns. He's now got the player tag of a bridge quarterback. And I'm not saying that the tags have anything to do with the sim, but I'm getting the feeling that we're not going to reach the ceiling that a perfect role of a Cardinals rebuild with Kyler Murray could hit. The quarterbacks this upcoming draft class look dog shit. I'm not too sure what to do. The quarterbacks, we have Nate Maynard out of West Virginia, projected to go just outside. It's not a strong class. Like, I'm good, great to good throw power, B accuracies. Like, he's going to be low 70s, probably normal depth. And as of right now, mock draft 2, there's only one quarterback going in the first. And I haven't played enough rebuilds to even have some foresight into what quarterbacks could be available in free agency, but we got a Kyler Murray problem. There's no other way to put it. So looking at our squad, we are definitely going to have more than enough money to be aggressive if there is a quarterback on the open market. But we do also need to spend a lot here. Zaven Collins has definitely earned another contract. Tank Dell has definitely earned another contract. 5-year, 103. Wants a little bit more. We're going to pay him like, I mean, we don't have to pay Marvin Harrison Jr. at any point, so we could kind of just factor Tank Dell into that. We'll get the Project Owen Popo locked in on a 4-year. We got Garrett Williams back on a 3-year deal. Tank Dell, however, turned down a 5-year, $110 million contract, so congratulations on the franchise tag. And then I also think we need to be chasing needle movers. Ojulari still has some upside, but the production hasn't really been there to justify a huge. I mean, that's not bad though. He's still going to develop if he'll take a 5-year. All right, we'll get Ojulari in. Maybe that's biased to what he was last year for us in Madden 24. We're like Michael Wilson, solid player, but I think having a lot of salary caps could be a great problem to have, given the unknowns of what the quarterback market could look like in free agency. So like the little contracts where if we had a franchise QB locked in and we had 136, I'd bring back Michael Wilson as our wide receiver 3. 2681, Murphy Bunting. You know, we got some other guys that are in the 70s, good role players, but ultimately we'll franchise tag Tank Dell and bring the rest of that money to the open market. I'll say this, Kyler Murray must have heard me talking shit because we are on a 3-game win streak back up to 70. Here's a real one though. Can we beat the Niners? 8-4 sitting atop the NFC West. We do. Oh my God. Kyler Murray, late season resurgence. Maybe we don't have a Kyler problem. Well, we lost 3 in a row, including a horrific loss, 10-3 to the Giants. We missed the playoffs. All of our offensive ranks have gone in the toilet. Our defense still is absolute dog shit, but I was full disclosure. I'm not in the business of firing Jonathan Gannon because we have so much invested in his skill tree for XP growth and stuff. We'll keep him. As much as that pays me to say as an Eagle fan, I don't think going into year 4 and 5, firing a head coach and losing all that progress in the skill tree is going to solve a lot of our issues. And look at the numbers for Kyler Murray. Ooh, ugly, man. 20th in pretty much everything. In the 20s. And we have 290. Like, we have maybe the best wide receiver in the league right now, Marvin Harrison Jr., talent-wise. Tank Dell's as good as a wide receiver, too, as you're going to find. We got almost a 90 overall here in Trey Benson. He's a 90. Like Marvin Harrison Jr., 1,200 yards, double-digit touchdowns, 90. He'll be a 99 by the end of next year. We got Tank Dell on a down year. I'm glad we didn't pay him that contract. You're coming like this. First of all, you got traded from the Texans because drama after the Stephon Diggs thing, and then I offer you $100 million when you're having a dog shit season, and you still say no. So I'm happy that we're going to be going the franchise tag route. But Marvin Harrison Jr., 96 superstar, 90 for Tank Dell. Trey McBride is a superstar tight end. Inexcusable for Kyler to be playing the way he is, knowing, a competent quarterback should be sleepwalking to 30-plus touchdowns in this offense. Defensively, Pablo continues to be a tackle machine. Love to see that development. He also had 5 sacks this year. Darius Robinson, 14 TFLs, 8.5 sacks, 6.5 from Ojulari, 5.5 Michael Bailey, 5 from Papo. Wow, saving Collins' production fell off the map. Interception numbers continue not to be overly sexy. 3 picks, Max Melton led the team. Whitfield, 2 for his rookie campaign. 61 tackles, not an X factor, but a superstar dev, 86 overall. He's going to be real good. Big-time contributor come year 4, year 5 of this rebuild. But a down year across the board. We had no one even sniffing awards. And to add even more to it, a team in our own freaking division has gone on to win the Super Bowl here in year 3 as the Niners finally not choke in a big game. Luckily for us on the offense, no depth chart regrets. I thought McBride was almost a lock to lose his depth chart. I honestly thought Kylie played bad enough, and he's 30, that he would lose his depth trait and be a normal, which would be incredibly rough. Defensively, dev trait wise, Max Melton with his 3 picks goes from star up to superstar, which is a big time get. Ford was hidden dev, just a star. So, I mean, I feel like we're very close. We just have to figure this out. So we're going to accept the 5th-year option on Marvin Harrison Jr. and we are going to slap take. Oh, that's a lot of money, but we're still going to have well over $100 million of salary cap. Congrats on the franchise tag. Yeah, jackass. All right, we're going to do this live. Let's see what the quarterback role is here in free agency. I'm going to be incredibly interested if there's even a halfway decent one, because we're at a point in time that, like, there's no quarterback this year, right? We're going into year 4. So that means even if we get a sick role and can find and trade up and A, B, C, D, F, G in the year 4 to year 5 draft and get a stud quarterback, that's just very unlikely he's going to be ready to take us on a Super Bowl run. So honestly, I may have to explore just trying to trade for a quarterback. This is not good. Oh, God damn it! What is this? Complete dog shit. So at this point, I'm going to look around, see if any of these teams have just drafted quarterbacks since this rebuild start. And we got one here from the Commanders, 74 for Cam Knight with a star dev. Stats look, I don't know how much better he would be than Kyler Murray. But this might be our best shot at just at least having an alternative. So Cam Knight for the Commanders, back up behind Jaden Daniels. They either want Gardner, who's a starting linebacker, 3rd round pick, 3rd and a 4th, a future 3rd. I'll do that one. All right. I think a logical corresponding move is what could we get for Kyler Murray? Oh, there's some dumb people. Yeah, I'll take that. So we now have Cam Knight as our starting quarterback. It's a swing, but 74 star dev. We have QB Guru at OC, so he's bumped up to a 78. 92 throw power, all the accuracies, 90 short. Not nearly as athletic as Kyler Murray, but like, let's be honest, Kyler Murray wasn't even putting up big scrambling numbers. I had better scrambling numbers with Bryce Young and the Panthers than I did with Kyler Murray here in Arizona. So we're going to see, because we got to make the move now. Time is running out, and we know there's not a great quarterback in this year's draft class. And again, like, even if for year 5 we drafted an X, like a 78 X factor, that's rare that's even going to exist, because that's a generational quarterback, let alone I could trade up and get him. It's somewhat reasonable I'd probably get like something like this, where we draft like a 74, 75, hidden dev. Maybe it's a superstar, not a star, but I'd rather Cam Knight start and get 2 years of development versus going all or nothing on a rookie quarterback year 1. And with Kyler Murray and the Saints' desperation to find a franchise quarterback, we were able to pick up corner 1. Not, don't need him, but we'll take him, because that can give us a little bit more flexibility here in the secondary. I will say, free agency been a little bit of a bummer so far in Madden 25. Not crazy, but we're going to try and make some moves. I don't want to overpay because they're not necessarily, huge signings, but Lee McNeil will definitely help our defensive line. And Michael Wilson, because we have a lot of money, I said I'd bring him back as a wide receiver 3 if he was open to it. And they both view our program here as a sinking ship and want nothing to do with it. Awesome. Great confidence in the trade I just made for a quarterback and a good corner that we didn't really need. So we gotta wait till pick 17. That's also been the bummer. We've been underperforming, but like not bad enough that I get a really juicy pick outside of year 1. All right, that's phenomenal. We are in a spot where I think this is the best player available. Yeah, I can't do it. We can't double up on safety again. Even if, I mean, what's the size? Can I move him the line? I can't move him the linebacker, but I bet you Billingsley is pretty good. We need a center. And Spiegel does look pretty. It's not, this is not like the big move though. That's the bummer. Easily the best center. Enough of a blind pick that I don't want to run that one up to the board, but that's what we need, a starting center. We need a starting center. We need a wide receiver 3, which we got one in one, Worthy. I mean, maybe this is the move. Throw more weapons out there. If we go 3 deep at wide receiver with a superstar tight end. We got B catching, B deep running. I only scouted him because all I saw was B deep running, and he was 6'3", and he ran a 4.3. Let's be honest. We go wide receiver. We could go center, but the center's not sexy. With the big changes and moves that we're making, I don't think it's center. But if we can get an absolute stud at wide receiver, number 19 in true value at pick 17, so not a crazy pick, but we do get the hidden dev. 6'3" with 93 acceleration, 92 change of direction, 92 speed. That'll do, and it'll give us slight cover in case the Tank Dell situation, because we're not going to Kirk Cousin him and franchise tag him multiple years. That'll be just ridiculous. So it gives us a little insurance there. All right, we'll grab the next best center, JJ Proctor, A awareness, B pass block, combine is solid. Wish the bench press was a little bit, but athletically, it'll be solid as long as he's like a 70 plus, which I think we'll flirt with that. I'm not expecting a dev trade or anything like that, but it should be a starter. Unique traits. We are now in blind pick territory. I'm not gonna lie, I might have just sorted by 40-yard dash time. And a middle linebacker running a 4.35. I have never seen that. 4.35. I mean, he's smaller, but they're not even 6'3", 240. I don't care. Sign me up. Look, he gets a presentation. D value, I don't care. 93 speed linebacker. We're here for the vibes that brings. That is the fastest linebacker I've ever drafted. So, look at the draft recap. Juan Worthy, 75, speedster. Proctor, 72, not bad. Holmes, I wasn't expecting a crazy rating. We just straight up drafted him because of his speed. Same with the running back here, Ben Nelson, 64. I mean, it is what it is. But 69 with 94 speed in the 5th round. Decent change of pace option behind Benson. We were right, though. Billingsley, the safety. I was like, this guy I think is going to be the best player. 83 overall. Not generational. Wow, that would be... I'd be not happy. I'd be as not happy as you could be drafting an 83 rookie. No dev trade. Now, if I was a true professional, I'd do this drill a bunch of times. And once I got gold medal, I would say, look at this. Knight is our franchise guy. Nah, we're going to do it live. First take. See what kind of medal we get. Organically, is Knight a stud? I would say, for my skill level this game, I think I've got gold medal once. I've done this drill 20 times. I'm usually a bronze, silver. And if I get silver, I'm feeling all right about it. So if this kid can get us a silver medal, at minimum, I'm going to be cautiously optimistic about what this season's going to hold. And, we doubled up. We have invested in him. We have the best wide receiver core in the NFL. Even with the disgruntled Tank Dell, we drafted a stud wide receiver in the 1st round to add even more resources to the position. We resigned our superstar dev tight end, even when maybe that wasn't the best use of our funds. But we also have almost unlimited funds, given our salary cap spot. So it's a terrific landing spot for any quarterback, let alone one that has some upside here in Knight, who was arguably, and in my opinion, after analyzing the market, the best backup quarterback in the game. And look at that. Look at the way he's dodging. Silver, I think we made a couple more throws there, it would be gold. But it's a good start, and I'm optimistic that we made the right call and didn't botch this entire rebuild by trying to stick with Kyler Murray. We're now here, brand new era, year 4 in year 5. Luckily, the downgrade of losing Kyler Murray and going to the brand new quarterback, our team's still 84 overall. Definitely going to be right in the mix, even if this could be slight growing pains. But coming out of training camp, we got a nice +2 to Cam Knight. We also have QB Guru at our offensive coordinator, so we have already a +4 temporary boost. So coming out of training camp, we have an 80 overall. Kyler Murray was 81, and I believe that was including the boosts. Now that could be not including the boost, and he would have been 82, 83. But I do think, again, this is the right call. Now, we go this year and next year and don't win anything, and we are on a streak of 2 straight rebuilds of not winning anything in Madden 25. I'm going to be a little worried. And maybe this didn't pay up, but we're going to put the C on his chest. You look at the stats, 92 throw power, very accurate. 91 accuracy, 92 short, 82 deep. You know, the awareness is going to come along. We weren't running the football anyways, so it's not like, you know, losing the athletic ability and scrambling ability of Kyler Murray is going to be a gigantic loss. I mean, he was getting 200-300 yard rushing, but it wasn't, he was getting no touchdowns. It wasn't a make or break aspect of this Cardinals offense. So I think more of a pocket passer, more of an accurate thrower here in Cam Knight. Hopefully we get proved right. 4 games of the night era at quarterback, 2-2. We're trying to figure it out, but we do get a breakout scenario coming off a close loss against the Ravens, who are one of the best teams in all of the league. It's respect, you know, there's no such thing as a respectable loss, no such thing as a good loss, but we got a good opportunity here. Michael Bailey on the defensive line, 5+ combined in a game. Now he's trying to become an X factor. 5+ is a lot. Well, that one, 5 tackles and 2 TFLs. You can get an X factor off that. That'd be pretty sick. All right, we got the Atlanta Falcons with a chance to have a brand new X factor on the defensive line. It's an ugly win, but it's a low enough win that we also have another breakout on the defensive line ahead of a game against the 4-1 Cowboys. But we win not prolifically, but we have a top 10 offense. Our passing offense looks good, but that's kind of been stuff we've seen with Kyler Murray. Offense will be top 5 passing overall, and then down the stretch, we're absolutely dog crap. So kind of trending in the same levels that we have with Kyler Murray, which is good. And we're talking about the breakout. They did a lot to limit. That's probably not what you want to hear, but I'm hoping because we have a nice little sit down, we will have an XP boost. And there we go. We'll take 4,500. All right, we got another breakout scenario on the defensive line ahead of the Cowboys matchup. And that looks like Ford. He's playing defensive end for us. Okay. I mean, that's going to be pretty tough to do, but there's a chance. Let's go. We beat the Cowboys. 2-game win streak. Cardinals are 4-2. Do we get the breakout? I mean, again, these things are always worth talking to because there's a good chance at worst you still get some nice XP. You still get like half a rating towards a player. God damn it. Stop struggling. That was making jump up to a superstar, and we get no XP. So coming out of our bye week, we are 5-4, and you know, win some, lose some, streaky. I wasn't expecting kind of turnaround by bringing in a backup quarterback that's never started in this league. And I think 5-4, I mean, we're right in the race. The Niners are 5-4. You look at the state of the NFC West, we're tied for first. So still everything to play for. And while we're not running the score up, and while we're not juggernauts of the NFC, I think we're trending. We're going to get to that point by the end of this year, and we're going to put it all together for year 5. So look at that, some contracts. We got great salary cap situation. The benefit of never having to really pay a franchise quarterback, especially once Kyler Murray left. It's kind of helped us out. And it's going to allow us to pay running backs, which we usually don't want to pay running backs, but we got to keep all these guys together. Ooh, okay. There's some other contracts. I'm going to keep the Canadian Isaiah Adams at guard. I feel like he can break in 80 overall at that left guard spot. He's been solid. We'll get Paulson Adebo, even though he's a little bit surplus requirement. Still 86, only 28 years old, so we'll lock him in for the 5th and final year of this rebuild in the secondary. Not a lot of interest from Paris Johnson, but he's our franchise tackle, so we're going to hit him with a 5-year, very player-friendly contract. And here we go again, old Tank Dell. Hey, there we go. He's changed his tune a little bit. So that's about it. We got depth guys here that I'm not too worried about. So we are going to have, plus when the salary code, we're going to have almost $100 million going to a likely, I don't want to give up on this year. Who knows? Cinderella run totally could be in the cards. But we're going to go into year 5 Super Bowl or bust scenario potentially with $100 million to also make this team better. I'm really confident we're going to figure it out. We got 2 wins in a row after the bye over the Niners and Rams in the divisional, and our win over the Rams. You're going to play the weekend. It's night on a 300-yard, 4-touchdown performance. Let's go, kid. And we're getting some great development this season. Huge +7, 3 more out, 4 off our OC, giving us Cam Knight at an 88 overall, playing like an 88 overall. He's an 81. So already we're getting to the same rating point as Kyler Murray. And really the difference is we've traded a scrambling quarterback for an accurate quarterback. And that seems to be working out pretty well. We also have Marvin Harrison Jr., who will achieve 99 authentic, genuine status. I hope his stats are really well this year because I do not want him to lose the X Factor. It'd be a little bit of a wet fart if we go into year 5 as even hitting 99. He's only a superstar. And Darnell Ford, who missed his breakout scenario, hit his XP goal. 5 sacks in a season gets him 16,000 XP, 3 skill points. That's huge. And we get another upgrade. Cam Knight gets one. Whitfield, the superstar, we get on our starting center, Proctor, a +4 in skill points. I imagine it's due to rushing yards and touch, 27,000 XP. Oh, we lose against the Niners, who play spoiler. We win, and we win the NFC West. We lose, and Seattle has the tiebreaker. But we go 10-7. It's a good record. We finish with the 3rd best passing offense, which you love seeing that. The defense, thank God, Jonathan, I mean, not thank God, this is for him. Jonathan Gannon, I cared about the investment of all my coaching points, because if not, I would have fired him after year 2. But offensively played well, especially make that gigantic move of switching off a quarterback. That's all you can ask for. And we got a chance to go on a playoff run. I don't even need a good big deep dive. Look at Knight. 4,300 yards, 30s in the top passers in the NFL. 3rd in passing yards, 4th in touchdowns for the former Commander backup quarterback, Cam Knight. When was he drafted? I guess we didn't really see what his true backstory. Never played for the Commanders. Drafted as a backup quarter. He's like the Kirk Cousins to the RG3. All right, you know, that's still good to see, to give Madden credit. They drafted, it wasn't like they drafted a 1st-round quarterback while they had Jane Daniels. You got a good quarterback, probably a BPA. That's a little early in the 2nd round. But if your BPA is a quarterback in the 2nd round and you have a scrambling quarterback like Jaden Daniels that's undersized, injury concerns, but that is sensational. 73%. What do you get as a scrambler out of him? I bet probably similar numbers to Kyler Murray. We're getting 300 yards, no touchdowns for Kyler Murray, and we get more out of Cam Knight. So he goes for 4,500 yards and 36 touchdowns in his 1st season as a starter. I think we made the right call, which is awesome. We got 1,000 yards on Benson. Receiving, Marvin Harrison Jr. continues to be unstoppable. 86 catches, 1,200 yards, 8 touchdowns, almost 900 yards and 6 touchdowns for our 1st-round pick, Juan Worthy, who's only a startup, but there's a chance. Those stat lines, probably an outside chance for Offensive Rookie of the Year. Tank Dell continues to be really, really reliable in the slot. 72 catches, 886 yards with 11 touchdowns, but I would say it's a little bit of a breath of fresh air that the slot wide receiver is not dominating here, and we're actually force-feeding our wide receiver 1, who's putting up wide receiver 1 numbers. Nice season from Trey McBride as well. Defensively, Owen Papo continues to be incredible with 119 tackles, 5 TFLs, 3 sacks, 9.5 sacks from Darius Robinson, 7.5 from Ojulari. Love seeing him have the best year of his career. 7 sacks from Michael Bailey, 6 from Darnell Ford. So we're getting a lot of pass rush out of our premier pass rushers. Xavier Collins, you'd like to see him because 2 years ago he popped, but it's not too bad right now. Interception numbers continue to be underwhelming, however. And Knight finishes within the top 5 MVP voting for year 1 of his era. Juan Worthy does get Offensive Rookie of the Year, so that could bode well for him being a superstar going into the 5th and final year of this rebuild. Knight makes the top 5 for Quarterback of the Year, and I will say the fact that his numbers are where they're at, yards and touchdowns, I'm fully expecting superstar dev for him. So he is proven to be a breath of fresh air, but can he be a winner when it matters most? 1st round, we get a tough matchup against J.J. McCarthy, who had 4,300 yards. They got Justin Jefferson, who had 1,500 yards. Offensively, we are pretty similar. I'm going to guess this is going to be a shootout. and we're playing with house money. I was not expecting a run, and we get a win and a weekly player of the week performance, and it's Knight. What a trade. Screw Patrick Mahomes on the other side. Who cares? That's boring. Does it all the time. Knight is the real story here. And it wasn't even close. 37-17. The 7 seed. Arizona Cardinals knock off the Minnesota Vikings. 3 touchdowns from Knight. No interceptions. Benson was solid. Marvin Harrison, Tank Dallas. We force-fed and all production from our receivers. Defensively stepped up when they needed to. We got a sack from Robinson and Ojulari, a pick from Papo and Reed Blankenship, and the Cardinals are on to the divisional round. Where I mean, this sucks. We get the 1 seed in the Dallas Cowboys. Cinderella run could continue. We got some nice upgrades there, right guard and our starting corner. They're gonna have to play their best for us to upset Dallas. But crazier things have happened. Unfortunately, not this year. God damn it! 1 score. 27-21. And you're not going to win any games when you have 3 points going into the 4th quarter. 18 in the 4th. I mean, I appreciate they went down swinging. But, you know, I will say I'm excited about where our team's at. But I also have no real confidence unless we can maximize and spend all that salary cap here in this offseason, or we find an absolute freak somehow in the draft. Like it just feels like we're missing something, je ne sais quoi, to make this team a legitimate Super Bowl contender. The ABC for Super Bowl. All right. Dallas wins. Anybody but the Cowboys or Chiefs. Before our squad in closing, Knight is up to a superstar. Worthy for winning Offensive Rookie of the Year is up to a superstar. What a trade. I don't want to say we finessed the Commanders because, again, this was a backup quarterback for them. They're trying to be and pull a Philadelphia Eagles of being a quarterback factory. And I think they get a good return on investment when all is said and done. For us here in Arizona, let's go. Defensively, however, we lost a dev trait on Adebo, who we just re-signed, which sucks, but he's still an 85 overall corner. No other dev traits up or down, so everyone kind of maintained, which is nice. So to go to free agency, wanting to spend an insane amount of money, it takes 2 to tango. We do not, I mean, we could... You could always have better at tackle, I guess. That is a 7-point upgrade over our current right tackle who I drafted and has developed nicely. But in this rare case, get a game changer. I think the big upgrade that we can make, our pass rush, has been limiting to me. We got Chop Robinson, who offers a different dynamic at pass rush for the program. So we are going to throw around as much money as we possibly can. There's no other real upgrades I think we could make. Like, I love our secondary. We're good at safety. Our D-line is stacked right now. There's no real... And I mean, we could go center but my center just went up like +8 goddamn points as a rookie. I feel like we reward that, and we don't go after Creed Humphrey, who has no interest in the squad. At least Suamadia, if we're trying to justify it, is very interested in joining the team, even though we are okay at the tackle spot. Well, let's see. I mean, this is the only upgrades, the biggest upgrades we can get, and we end up getting both of them. So Chop Robinson is going to start at pass rush. Maybe we get a little creative. You could definitely take Zaven Collins. I believe he's like an 83 power rusher or speed rusher and like an 82 run stopping linebacker. So we could probably move him inside the middle linebacker to play with Papo. Chop Robinson and Ojulari at pass rush. Suamadia will move to right tackle. Have a little bit of moving pieces around. We could probably kick the right tackle to left guard where we have the Canadians. Only a 79. Our current right tackle is like an 82, so he shouldn't change. I think I'll get this. I'll get this sort situated. We'll look at our depth charts kicking off year 5. I think our team's going to be a lot better. And for our final draft, our team's complete. This is our first pick. I'm going with who I think is BPA, regardless of position. We have a superstar tight end. But we got Trevor Weber here, 6'3", 260. A catch in traffic, a deep route running. I'm going to almost imagine that that's going to be A, medium route running. A, deep. B, short. That'll, and then you throw in the fact he ran a 4.40 at 260. You know, there's no starters. It's just, can I pad my drafting stats at this point? Trevor Weber, number 8 in true value, getting him at pick 27. Oh, no dev trait, though. Gross. Hey, look at our draft recap. Rating's pretty good, though. 75, and we know he's a top 10 player in the draft at a position that just didn't really matter. Doubled up at linebacker here. We get Massey in the 3rd round, 73 normal dev. Maybe the best value pick at pick 27 was Ron Wagner out of Mississippi State. 74 with a hidden dev, big time acceleration as well. But, you know, it's a year 5, and I'm blessed as a program that we're not searching for a starter here in year 5. Because if I, you know, when it gets to that, and it happens, usually that means something's gone wrong or I've mismanaged the salary cap. But we're in a great spot, and we got some good depth in this draft. Now, this is it, ladies and gentlemen, year 5 Super Bowl or bust here in our Madden 25 Arizona Cardinals rebuild. We have a new superstar quarterback in night 88 overall. Trey Benson up to a 95 overall. Marvin Harrison Jr. will very shortly join the exclusive 99 overall club. He has been sensational. Tank Dell and the reigning defending offensive rookie of the year make up our skill position spots, as well as a superstar, Trey McBride. We added Suamadi as a complete luxury in free agency. So we go from an 84, which is Claiborne, at right tackle up to a 91. We then shift Claiborne to left guard, where we have the Canadian Isaiah Adams starting at a 79. That is a 6-point upgrade there. So the O-line is as good as it's ever been. Defensively, this is where the team has struggled. We have Jonathan Gannon, who's a defensive-minded head coach, and I think like our best ranking defensively was like 16th, 17th, in that range. And for the talent that we have across the board, completely unacceptable. Luckily enough for Jonathan Gannon, we had enough coaching points invested in him that it just made more sense to continue to suck than fire him like he deserves to be fired and bring in someone else that can run the defense. Front 3, we have Ford, superstar 94 in Bailey, and Darius Robinson, who has carved out a really nice career for himself. Ojulari in the free agency signing of Chop Robinson, prolific speedster off the edge. With that move, we've kicked Zaven Collins inside the middle linebacker to play alongside Owen Papa, who's been sensational this rebuild. We got Reed Blankenship. We got Whitfield, who we drafted as a superstar out the gate at safety. He's hoping to have his best season yet. Max Melton has developed into a corner 1. We got a Debo in the Kyler Murray trade. We got Freeman, who we drafted as a value pick early on in this rebuild. So ultimately, no weaknesses for this team on either offense or defense. It's time to go out there here in year 5 with our backs against the wall and get that Super Bowl. We're just simming our way through. We're looking good. 9-4. And then I was, you know, good win over Seattle. Buffalo was 10-2. Just, you know, it's like, we might lose Buffalo. 10-2 is not a battle. We win 42-35. Not only did we win, but Knight went for 6. He didn't have a fumble, but he went for 6 passing touchdowns on the day. That's huge, considering he didn't win any player of the week so far. I honestly think he's a little bit whelming to this point in the season, but he's getting hot at the right time. We're 10-5, lost to the Giants, beat the Rams. This is a big one, as it's the Kyler Murray revenge game. God damn it. Oh, it's an annoying loss. Oh no, 4 picks. So we close with the season beating the Falcons, bouncing back after the Kyler Murray revenge game. I mean, our team is stacked. 93 overall, 95 offense, 91 defense. We go 11-6. We get a top 5 offensive ranking, almost top 10 in passing yards. Defense still dog shit. Great job there, Jonathan Gannon. But we do win our first NFC West title, and we're very close. Maybe it was that Saints win. Maybe that was the Kyler Murray revenge right there. That could have cost us the 1 seed and a first-round bye in the playoffs, as the Packers at 12-5 get it. Looking at the stats, Cam Knight, most touchdowns in the NFL, 38, had 11 picks. The yards weren't ridiculous, but man, oh man, what a, you know, it would have been easy just to be like, you know what, let's rock with Kyler Murray, and if we don't end up winning a Super Bowl, we can throw him under the bus. That's the reason why the Cardinals didn't win a Super Bowl here in our first Madden 25 Cardinals rebuild, because Kyler Murray. But we decided to say, screw that. We're going to find a way, find an alternative, and Cam Knight has been every bit that alternative. Trey Benson, 1,000 yards and 10 touchdowns. Receiving, Marvin Harrison Jr., 89 catches, 1,300 yards, 16 touchdowns, 7-5 for Worthy, 7-8 for Tank Dell. little bit of a down year from Trey McBride. Defensively, Papo doing Papo things. Buck 28, 10 TFLs, 3 sacks. 9.5 sacks from Robinson, 8 from Michael Bailey, 5 from Darnell Ford, 3 from Papo. And wow, just Ojulari, our 2 starting edge rushers, 2.5 sacks and 1 sack. And it wasn't like they weren't playing. 40 tackles, 52 tackles. You're not getting those numbers. Barely seeing the field. I don't want to speak this into existence, but there was issues. And I don't know, like people that were more informed. I literally had someone to tell me that the 3-4 sim numbers were broken in Madden 24. Madden, I would have a track record that those issues would just be in the next game in Madden 20. I don't know if 3-4 defenses are wonky or not. I will say we've done what? Patriots rebuild, Panthers rebuild, and Commanders rebuild. And in all 3 of those, never got crazy sack numbers. I feel like our best ones were with the Commanders. And that was a 4-3 defense. I don't know. I don't know enough. And I would assume just also the interception numbers haven't been great. Maybe it's just fair to assume Jonathan Gannon has a dog shit defense. Our only award winner in year 5 goes to our kicker, Clayton Hancock. Cool. Hopefully I don't get demonetized for saying that name. And I always like looking at the career stats of our players throughout a 5-year rebuild. Obviously, at quarterback, a little bit different. Cam Knight, 2-year start, 8,100 yards passing, 71 touchdowns to only 20 interceptions. I think we pivot here just slightly to see what Kyler Murray has been able to do in his time after the trade with the Saints. He still has, more than a 2-to-1 touchdown interception ratio. So he, with us, 4,000, bad year there, but, averaged about 3,800 yards, 26 touch. I mean, look, we sold him at his expiration date. Has not been particularly great. And that upset late in the season this year against us when we played the Saints is probably his Super Bowl. That's his crowning moment. Trey Benson has 5,200 yards and 52 touchdowns. So he was right on for 1,010 pretty much every year. And if we can get that at minimum in our run game, I'm going to be happy in most rebuilds. Receiving, Marvin Harrison Jr. in 5 seasons, 400 catches, 6,300 yards, 52 touchdowns, average 75 a game. Beast. Every bit played up to the level of an X Factor 99 potential wide receiver. So very happy with that. Tank Dell over 5,000 yards and 53 touchdowns. 4,400 yards, 17 touchdowns for McBride, and Worthy came on late, but I think he's going to have a great career ahead of him. Owen Papo led the team in tackles with 609, 26 TFLs, 13.5 sacks, 37 sacks on 62 TFLs for Darius Robinson, 62 TFLs, 31 sacks. Zaven Collins, 28.5 for Michael Bailey, 25.5 for Ojulari. Just the pass rush, the turnovers in the secondary were, again, look, the 2 guys that came to us through free agency later or trades are the leaders. Not surprising. 8 picks there. Garrett Williams, 7 from Max Melton. Even though they developed nicely, it's just say I don't think I'll ever, if we're in another rebuild and we're struggling defensively, I don't think there will ever be a situation where I'm going to want the Cardinals defense. We'll just say that. So the first round of the playoffs, we get the LA Rams 9-8, staring down the barrel at 2 straight Madden 25 rebuilds that go as an L. I was prepared actually to lose that one and be like, you know what, guys, let's go one more year. I got some time today. But we handle business. 30-22 over the Rams in a rivalry matchup. Honestly, we handled most of that game. Gave up 15 late. Almost choked it. Luckily, Minshew Mania did not run wild as he threw 3 picks. Right as I roasted my secondary for not being able to generate or force any interceptions. We go out and go, okay, all right. Zaven Collins, Garrett Williams, BJ Ojulari, the pass rusher, getting in on the action. Happy with that performance as we move on to the divisional round. You know what? We'll just keep on. I'll say this. If we lose, I'll play one more year. I'll give them an overtime. I'll give them a 6 bonus season just because I don't want 2 rebuilds back to back that we don't win. And, Cardinals, man, they were a team last year. I want to give them an honest chance. And because we had to pivot late to a new quarterback, like this team's going to be better next year. We have the salary cap to re-sign whoever. It's not like we went all in on this, but we get the win, defeating the Commanders. That's a revenge for the quarterback. Commanders didn't want him. They again, it's not really fair to actually say that. They drafted him as a backup. But technically, the Commanders said, nah, we're good with Jaden Daniels. You go do you. And he says, all right, bet. I'm going to get player of the week in the divisional round in a win as we send you home. This is a tough one, man. Green Bay, you know, there's only 4 rebuilds in, but you're starting to notice. I'm starting to notice, you know, the perennial big dogs. In the AFC, Chiefs and Ravens tend to usually go far in the playoffs. In the NFC side, it seems pretty overwhelmingly Dallas and Green Bay go pretty deep almost every single year. Green Bay is a tough team. They're a good team. You know, that's not me necessarily complaining. I'm literally saying it. Madden has usually the 2 strongest, most consistent teams in the AFC. They're usually the most consistent and strongest in the sim. And in the NFC, I mean, Green Bay probably needs to, you know, play well this year to prove that it wasn't just a flash in the pan type thing. But, you know, you look at the NFC in real life going into 2024, biasly, I like my Eagles at number 1. I think our roster stacks up well against everyone. We obviously have to, with a new coaching staff, go in there and improve it. But in that bubble, it's a wide open discussion between Philly, San Francisco. I'd probably put Green Bay as that 3rd team. Dallas is, you know, probably top 5 for sure. But let's go out here. Again, no pressure. Usually there's pressure at this point where if we lose, or maybe we got to hop and we got to play and make sure we can get them on the line. We'll go one more. Ah, no. Oh, we won. Thought we lost. All right, 30-23. Oh, man, I hate that sometimes. It's just like you get a different screen in the same. Man, we don't have to play the Ravens. They get upset by Joe Burrow and the Bengals on the other side of the bracket. We had the nice little cannibalization of the 2 power teams in the division round as the Ravens knocked off the Chiefs. Okay, this could be good. Very close and epic. In the NFC Championship game, 30-23. The Cardinals get the job. Neither quarterback had a particularly strong game. We were able to rely on Trey Benson. Not so much for the yards, but he got 2 touchdowns for us on the day. Tank Dell with a touchdown. Again, made that big trade to get him in, so that's a great return on investment. We got 3 sacks. Ojulari, Ford, and the rotational of Richards. All right, maybe that's what I'm going to do from now on. It'd be like, we're going to eliminate the pressure of the 5th year, and we'll just say there's a 6th year. And so far, that karma is working well for us. We're in the Super Bowl year 5. All right, so looking at the Bengals, a quick scouting report. Joe Burrow went for 37 touchdowns. Jamar Chase, 99 overall, 1,300 yards. They have the number 2 offense, number 2 passing offense, top 5 rushing defense. You look at us, we have the number 4 offense in terms of points scored. I'm gonna be honest, not a lot of it. The only thing I'm seeing here is that they have the worst passing yard defense in the league. Maybe we can expose that a little bit because we're gonna hop in. Have we had a gameplay? I've recorded this over 3 days. If we don't, I apologize because I always want to try to shift more gameplay, even if it's just like a clips format. I feel like we might have done it year 1, but if not, we're getting after it here in the Super Bowl. Here's the team that needs to go get us that Super Bowl. Knights a 96, 97 Benson, 99 Marvin Harrison, Tank Dell's a 90, 88 for Worthy, 93 McBride, lost his superstar, O-line 93, 88, 84, 86, 89, 94 overall team. This is our best team we have built so far. 89, 96, 91 on the front 3. Owen Papo gets his superstar deb, better late than never. Chop Robinson, Collins, and Ojulari. 85, 96 for Whitfield, 91 Max Melton is up to a superstar X Factor. I don't know how he's doing that, but I appreciate that. And if you are watching this and you are planning on doing a Cardinals, stick with Max Melton. He develops very nicely in this scheme. Let's go get that Super Bowl. I will say no one wants to see me play defense. I am terrible at defense in this game. I will cost this team. So we are going to control this from an offensive standpoint. Maybe we get the patch of the zones. We'll play a little bit more defense, but I'm not selling out my team by allowing them to score a touchdown every time we score a touchdown. But I'm all right with it. I'm confident with it. We have built a defense that should be able, like a Tesla, to just drive itself. I've given lots of superstars. I've developed X Factors. You guys can handle Joe Burrow. We on the offense, I'm going to use Knight, because we got to try to become the most iconic, legendary Arizona Cardinal quarterback of all time. Screw you, Kurt Warner. Screw you, Kyler Murray. Screw you, John Skelton. There's a new dog in town. And I have a feeling with a mix of Trey Benson, of that rookie class, Trey Benson and Marvin Harrison Jr., we're going to absolutely get after it here And we're going to win that Super Bowl. Let's go, 19. Oh, no, come on. 4th and inches, huh? It's the Super Bowl. What are we doing here if we punt that? 4th and inches. Trust our guys. We'll run right into their superstar if we need to. No! That's unacceptable, man. I have spent too much money on that offensive line for them not to give me a fucking inch. Now we give Joe Burrow. Yep. Are you seriously pressing Marvin Harrison Jr. right now? All right. See how well that works out for... Oh, they actually... Maybe I should have just simmed this one. Second and 23. Hopefully Marvin Harrison can get open. That's insane. Insane grab. There's no way we don't get this again. I have so much talent. Literally, I'm running behind all 80s and 90s. Thank you. Go, this will make up for it. Get on your horse. Big run, needed that. Here we go, fellow. That block downfield by 77 Claiborne. That is what I want to see. Stiff arm for the extra. And we're tied up, Benson. There we go, fellas. That is how you redeem yourself from botching the 4th and inches earlier. What a run. Come on, defense. Get me the stop. All right, we ran the ball enough on that last drive. I think it's time for a play action shot here. Tank Dell. Need our O-line to hold up because they're going to blitz. And we'll go to the 1st round pick, backup tight end, Weber. Good grab. Damn, man. Who is that guy? Jenkins. Is that Chris? That's Chris Jenkins? Okay. He's a stud. He's developed into a stud. Yep, part of that Michigan Wolverine. Natty winning defense. He is having a day against my 86 guard. Marvin Harrison would have got it. 4th and 16. Oh. Field goal kicking is not as hard in this game as it is in college football. But I don't love our chances. Let's go for it. Who knows? I think we might have had someone down there, but not seeing my O-line play up to their potential. 77, what are we doing here? Here we go. Defense gets me to stop. Just 1 second here. We got to do a little in-game scouting. My offensive line is getting fucking shredded, pardon my French. 89, 86, 84, 88, 93. So the best offensive line in the league. What do they have on the defense? I will admit I'm wrong if they got all high 80s and 90s. 84, 77, 90, 77, 84. I mean, that's their 3-4, so 4-3, sorry. I mean, really? Ooh, got the running back on the backfield. Sneaky throw. Trey Benson. He's having a day. Ooh, this is what I like to see too. Easy, high percentage throw. Get the ball in Marvin Harrison Jr.'s hands and let the 6'3", 99 speed guy make some plays for you. Let's run behind the best O-line in the league. Get in there. Yes, baby. We are tied at 14. That score should hold going into halftime. Trey Benson. Beautiful. There we go. Defense gets a stop. Cincinnati gets the ball to start the second half. They score. Now it's our turn. Ooh. It's your Bucks. Got him. Let's go, Marvin Harrison. First and goal on the 2. Hat trick time for Trey Benson. That's what we're going to dial up. And we're going to run right into the belly of the beast at Chris Jenkins. And hey, we'll take the assist there. Get smashed in, but we are tied at 21. Come on, defense. Defense, 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 defense. God damn it. Just hold to a field goal. Ooh, offside. Free play. Go right to Trey McBride at tight end. We'll get out of bounds. I don't know if it's the right time to call play action, but I love this play for getting Tank Dell open. They don't blitz. We do get a little bit of separation, and Tank Dell grabs it. We are tied at 28. 3:15 to play. I'm closing my eyes. You can't see how just please, when I come back, have a stop. It's a field goal. All right. Go win this. Hey. Worthy, the rookie. Well, former first-round pick. No longer a rookie. Sophomore. Okay. Oh, yes, sir. We'll run a slant. This is a good spot to run slants. As long as we're not running in the red zone. All right. Let's see if we can pick on the linebackers here. Got him. Holds on. That's a tough grab. Clock is running. I do think we need to be somewhat conscientious that this is the final drive. Worthy, Harrison. That's where I'm looking. Sorry, anyone on the right-hand side, not even looking your way. All right, Mulligan. Good play. Why are we calling this in the fucking red zone? PA crossers. Let's go, Verts. Who is our OC right now? Let's go slot outs. Our MVP's been Trey Benson. Might be able to get him out of the backfield here. Now, I hate that I'm going to be so locked in on that. I'm not even going to see if Marvin Harrison wins out the line. Damn it. How are we running this? Let's go for the win. We got drive. Ooh, Tank Dell. I want Benson pass pro. Oh, we got it. Oh, they're going to probably review that. Oh, my God. If Tank Dell could make that grab, and that counts. What a ball. That reminds me of the Santonio Holmes Super Bowl catch against the Cardinals when it was Steelers. Let's see here by the review. C4's official review. Oh, I mean, that looks... Max Melton, interception. What a game. Congrats to the Cincinnati Bengals. Takes 2 to tango to put on an all-timer. Put that ring right there on the finger of whoever the hell 31. I think that's Reed Blankenship. Jonathan Gannon's defense, much like when he sabotaged us in the Super Bowl, tried to cost us. But at the end, it was X Factor Max Melton, part of that very first draft class that stands up, and we end the streak at 1 of L rebuilds. We get back on the podium. 99 Marvin Harrison making the trade to get Knight after we decided Kyler Murray is not going to be the guy that can bring us Super Bowl. And looking at his stats with the Saints, clearly was never going to be that guy. Benson had a huge game, might be Super Bowl MVP. It's all you can ask for, baby. Going down with a big old checkmark, successful rebuild for the Arizona Cardinals. So I hope you guys enjoyed. If it is your first time stopping by, don't be afraid to hit that subscribe button. We're getting very close to 175,000 subscribers here on the channel. It'll be cool to hit that milestone before too long. Hit that like button if you enjoyed the rebuild. It always helps out with the YouTube rods. Let me know in the comment section below which team we should rebuild next year in Madden 25. Up next, I'm planning on having a college football rebuild. I'm planning on having the second episode of our college football offensive coordinator career. And also the plan is for this weekend to have the first episode of our main channel Madden 25 franchise with the Minnesota Vikings. So all that stuff will be coming your way. Thank you guys very much for all the love and support. And until next time, it's your boy C4 saying peace out, love ya, Have a good one.